What if I told you that one of the most trusted men inside the Central Intelligence Agency never needed to sneak into a vault under the cover of darkness, or stage some elaborate midnight operation? He simply asked for the gold, and the agency handed it over. Tens of millions of dollars in solid gold bars, approved as legitimate work-related expenses. This is not a movie script or some wild conspiracy theory pulled from the shadows. This is the real story of David J. Rush, a former senior executive at the CIA with top-secret clearance who allegedly walked away with over $40 million in physical gold, right under the nose of the most secretive agency in the world. Rush was no Lovell clerk shuffling papers in some forgotten basement. He held a senior position in the Directorate of Science and Technology, the very division responsible for developing the cutting-edge gadgets, surveillance tools, and advanced technology that keeps American intelligence operations one step ahead. For years, he moved freely through the halls of Langley with access that most agents could only dream about. He had the kind of clearance that opened doors literally no one else could touch. But starting back in November of 2025, something quietly shifted. According to the detailed FBI affidavit, Rush began putting in repeated requests for large quantities of foreign currency and tens of millions of dollars worth of physical gold bars. He claimed it was all for legitimate work expenses tied to his high-level operations. The agency reviewed the requests and approved them, again and again and again, without raising immediate red flags. By the time internal auditors finally connected the dots, hundreds of 1-kilogram gold bars had simply vanished from official government inventories. The numbers are staggering. 303 bars in total, each weighing exactly 1 kilogram with a current market value exceeding $40 million. Think about that for a moment. This was not pocket change or a handful of loose bills. This was a fortune large enough to buy multiple luxury homes, private jets, or simply disappear into a life of complete anonymity if someone chose to. Then, in early May of 2026, an internal CIA audit finally flagged the missing assets. The director of the CIA, John Ratcliffe, wasted no time and immediately referred the entire matter to the FBI for a full criminal investigation. On May 18th, federal agents executed a search warrant at Rush's home in Fairfax County, Virginia. What they discovered inside was beyond staggering. Agents found approximately 303 gold bars, carefully stored alongside roughly $2 million in United States currency and 35 luxury watches, many of them high-end Rolex models. The haul was so massive it filled storage spaces and safes throughout the residence. This was not some amateur hiding a few items in a drawer. This was a calculated accumulation of wealth on a scale rarely seen even in the biggest corporate scandals. The very next day, on May 19th, David Rush was arrested and charged with 1 count of theft of public money under federal statute. But here's where the story takes an even more shocking turn and reveals layers of deception that stretch back nearly 2 decades. For years, Rush had allegedly been living a carefully constructed lie. He had told the government he graduated from 2 prestigious universities, Clemson University and Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. He claimed he had served as a decorated Navy pilot with combat experience. He even collected $77,000 in military leave pay based on that fabricated service record. None of it was true. The FBI investigation uncovered that Rush had enlisted in the Navy back in 1997 and served honorably in the reserves until 2015, reaching the rank of lieutenant. But he never completed pilot training, never flew a single combat mission, and never earned those university degrees he listed on his applications. Somehow, despite the CIA's rigorous background checks and multiple layers of vetting, this deception went unnoticed for years, allowing him to rise through the ranks with full top-secret access So the question that everyone in the intelligence community and beyond is asking right now is simple and haunting. Why gold? Why not request cash transfers or electronic wires that would be far easier to move and far less traceable? Why insist on hundreds of heavy physical bars of gold that are bulky, difficult to transport, and inherently traceable on the open market? Was this part of some larger, undisclosed operation that the public still knows nothing about? Was it pure personal greed executed on a breathtaking scale never before seen inside the agency? Or was there something else? Something even the FBI has not fully uncovered yet that might explain this audacious choice. The case has already sent massive shockwaves through the entire intelligence community. If a senior official with the highest level of clearance can walk out with $40 million in government property using nothing more than approved paperwork and the agency's own trust, what does that say about oversight inside the most secretive organization in the world? The implications reach far beyond one man's actions. This is a story that forces us to examine how the system itself can be gamed from within. How someone could allegedly falsify key parts of their background for nearly 20 years, pass every security clearance, and then systematically requisition a fortune in gold under the guise of official work. The CIA and the Department of Justice continue their joint investigation. Rush remains in federal custody awaiting his next court appearance, which has been scheduled in the coming days. His lawyer has so far declined to comment publicly on the charges. One man, one of the most trusted insiders in American intelligence history, and a heist so audacious it required no masks, no guns, and no dramatic escapes. It only required a pen, a series of approved forms, and the quiet confidence that no one would question. The requests coming from someone so deeply embedded. But the real question that lingers long after the headlines fade is not simply how David Rush managed to do it. It is what else might have walked out those same doors over the years that we still do not know about. How many other gaps in the system remain hidden? How deep does the gold really go? And how many more secrets are still buried inside the vaults of Langley? This is the kind of case that reminds us that sometimes the most extraordinary stories are not the ones involving shadowy figures in the night, but the ones where the system itself hands over the keys and looks the other way until it is far too late. The investigation is ongoing, and the full truth may take months or even years to emerge, but one thing is already crystal clear. This is a story that will continue to echo through the intelligence world for a very long time to come.